Shalom. I want to give all praise to Yahweh, Shimei, Shimei, double honors to the apostles and elders of great millstone that rule well. Salutations to the hopeful elect, pushing this word of sincerity and truth on the four corners of the earth. Alright, I'm going to start in Proverbs 15:31. It says, the ear that heareth the reproof of life abideth among the wise. Alright, because only a wise man always going to take reproof and, rebuke. Alright, now, of course, in the world, you taught, it always has something to say, to always, defend yourself, come back, at whoever may be telling you anything that you don't want to hear. Alright, but, that's wicked, and it's actually a feminine spirit, that you got to get up out of. I've had these reactions before, but once again, it's in a feminine spirit, man. Only, a woman deflects and brings up other shit when they're wrong. Whereas a man, accepts it. All right, I was wrong. I misstepped. I went off. All right, let me correct it. Because, reproof is a part of our heritage. When you think about it, holding each other accountable is, a part of being an Israelite. It's a part of being a man in general, but, really a part of being an Israelite. It's our heritage. All right, that's why the scriptures say, the ear that heareth the reproof of life abideth among the wise. Because a wise man is going to take, what you say and, the righteous reproof that you have and just apply it, to his life, and correct his ways to the best of his ability. Right. Even when you look at, like a athlete, he got coaches, because we coaching each other, right? You got coaches telling them this is the part of your game that you need to work on. Now, the athlete, just for this example, that goes to the summer or the off season and doesn't work on that part of his game, eventually ends up looking like an asshole on the court or the field. And I ain't trying to sports you to death, but like Ben Simmons, people been telling him to work on his jump shot. And you go in the summer, work on your jump shot. He's kicking it with the Kardashians. So that's why, when the time comes, he looks like an idiot. And that's the same thing that'll happen to you as it pertains to, the reproof of, scriptures. When the time comes, you're going to look bad because you didn't take any of that reproof. You were too proud to do so. Or you got emotional, which it happens. It shouldn't be a recurring thing, but isolated incidents, you may get, a little upset or whatever. All right, but to abide among the wise, you have to take that reproof. All right. Proverbs 15:32. He that refuseth instruction despiseth his own soul. But he that heareth reproof getteth understanding. Because if you despise instructions, you're just going to keep making the same mistakes over and over again. Because you don't view yourself as an onlooker does. You know what I mean? Somebody else can see the flaws in you better than you can. They're on the outside looking in. So don't get so wrapped up into yourself that you feel like you can't be spoken to or you can't be, reproved. And if you feel like that, stop feeling like that. Because, all in all, anybody that's reproving you is trying to help you. All right. But he that heareth reproof getteth understanding. What is that understanding? The understanding of your missteps, your shortcomings. What you may be, what you may be doing wrong. That's the understanding that you're going to get when being reproved. Alright. This is the next verse, 15 and 33. Proverbs 15 and 33. The fear of the Lord is the instruction of wisdom, and before honor is humility. Alright, now that's really the point I wanted to grab out of this. Alright, before honor is humility. You know, a lot of people want to start at the top, you know. But before you receive that honor, before you receive that glory, you have to go through, you know, your humility and your shame. Alright, shit about you gotta be pointed out, just like the raising of a child. If you got children, how many times you tell your children they wrong? Do you tell your children they wrong more than you tell them they right? Or do you tell them they right more than they wrong? No. They don't know no damn better. Just like us sometimes, we don't know no damn better. So before you receive that honor, you have to go through, you know, the humility. Alright, before you receive glory, you gotta go through shame. Alright, an example that I wanted to grab out of the scriptures is in 2 Samuel. Alright, we know the story of David, King David. King David actually committed adultery with Bathsheba, which is, I can't remember my man's name, but he basically set bruh up to die on the battlefield so he can have his wife, which is wicked, you know. Even though King David is a man after the Most High's heart, you know, he made his mistakes as well, just like all the men of the Lord. You know, Solomon was the wisest king ever, but he committed spiritual adultery, building idols and shit in his old age. That's why the scriptures say a wise man falleth 7 times. Like, even when you wise, you might fuck up in this flesh, man. Right, we all fall short of the glory of the Most High. Scriptures say, who have cleansed himself of sin. Like, we don't go off, all right? But getting back into the story of David, you know, he committed adultery with Bathsheba, and the Most High punished his house, all right? You know, his son wanted to kill him. Absalom wanted to kill him. One of his other sons had sex with his daughter, and then Absalom ended up killing him for it. Like, it was just chaos in his household, all because of this decision that he made. All right. So I'm going to start in 2 Samuel 16 and 6. It says, and he cast stones at David. I'm sorry, I'm going to start in 15. 2 Samuel 16 and 5, rather, pardon me. And when King David came to Bahurim, behold, thence came out a man of the family of the house of Saul, whose name was Shimei, the son of Gera. He came forth and cursed still as he came. So he came up and he started cursing King David. All right. Because as it says, he's from the house of Saul. So he's seen his enemy down and out. And he decided to kick dirt on him and curse him and try to embarrass him in public, right? It says, and he cast stones at David and at all the servants of King David. And all the people and all the mighty men were on his right and on his left. So not only we came out cursing King David, he was throwing stones at him and the mighty men. All right, which would be, you know, a humiliating scene. You know, you the king of Israel, you got this cat Shemaiah from the house of Saul. All right, throwing stones at you, cursing you. You know, it says, and thus says Shemaiah when he cursed, come out, thou bloody man, and thou man of Belial. All right, they call him a bloody man, call him a man of Belial. All right, it says, this is verse 8, 2 Samuel 16 and 8. The Lord hath returned upon thee all the blood of the house of Saul, in whose stead thou hast reigned. And the Lord has delivered the kingdom into the hand of Absalom thy son. And behold, thou art taken in thy mischief, because thou art a bloody man. So he was just running down on King David, you know, talking big shit to him. Right? He told King David this happened because of what you did to the house of Saul. And that's why now your son ruling, you know, you're a bloody man. You're taking in your own mischief, right? Which, you know, you got to be in the spirit of, you know, we the Israelites, so you know the shit that Shimei was saying was way worse than what's written in the scriptures, man. You know, he was calling them all kind of shit, you know. It says, then said Abishai, the son of Zeruiah, unto the king, why should this dead dog curse my lord the king? Let me go over, and I pray thee, and take his head. So the mighty man, all right, Abishai, was right next to King David, hearing all this dumb shit. Well, I ain't even gonna say this dumb shit, but hearing all this rebuke and this reproof that, you know, he was getting from Shemaiah, all right? Because it's his enemy, the house of Saul, you know? And Abishai said, you know, basically, let me go take care of this. All right, you the Lord, my king, like, you know, come on, man, you the king of Israel, regardless of what we going through or what you going through, you know, let me go take care of this, all right? It continues on to say, and the king said, what have I to do with you, ye sons of Zeruiah? So let him curse, because the Lord hath said unto him, curse David. Who shall then say, wherefore hast thou done so? All right. Basically, what King David saying is the Lord sent him to say this to me. That's humility. All right. Because if you look at it in today's era, he would have sent this man, you know, not King David himself, but like somebody else. And this situation, like, yeah, go get him. Because especially the Israelite man, you know, don't have a level of humility anymore. Everything is a get back. I gotta get this dude back. I gotta, you know, get revenge and all this dumb shit. Whereas King David, this is the king of Israel. I sat there and took the rebuke, and he said, not only did he take the rebuke, he told Abishai, look, man, the Lord got him saying this shit to me. Because he knew he was wrong. You know, and a lot of Israelite men, you can't just accept the fact that you're wrong about something and move forward. Try to fix the behavior and move forward. You gotta be, you know, a quote unquote real nigga. You know. But King David took that rebuke. Man. All right, continuing on. This is verse 11. And David said to Abishai and to all his servants, behold, my son which came forth from my bowels, seeking my life. How much more now may this Benjamite do it? Let him alone and let him curse, for the Lord hath bitten him. All right. Once again, humility. This is the Most High talking to me. I know what I done, and let him talk. And get his shit off. He, you know, it ain't like he, you know, saying anything wrong for real. Maybe it's coming off as disrespectful, but it isn't wrong. This is the level of humility you gotta have through, you know, your trials and tribulations. Just, you know, when you wrong, just stay low, you know. Those who might be rebuking or reproving you, whether it's in a calm voice, a loud voice, whether you deem it disrespectful or what, is it real or not? And King David at this time, he knew it was real. I gotta go through this too. One of my sons done raped my daughter. My son killed that son. Now Absalom, you know, he on my ass. He want to kill me. Imagine that. You know, your baby boy, you know, trying to ride on you. But he took it all on the chin because he knew he was wrong. And, you know, being in this truth, whatever you go through, you got, if you're wrong, take it on the chin. Even if you're right, just play the low. The Most High justify you. Just like, you know, I'm not really gonna get into the whole story, but, you know, King David's deathbed, he basically put out a hit on Shemaiah, man. And the both sides had Solomon executed. So in the end, he was still justified, but at that time, nah, I'm low. You know, I done what I done, and now I gotta accept it. All right. 2 Samuel 16:12. It may be that the Lord will look on my affliction, and that the Lord will requite me good for his cursing this day. All right. So if I, play the low, and the Lord got Shimei, speaking from the perspective of King David, the Lord got Shimei cursing me. Maybe, he'll have mercy on me if I just take this rebuke and change my ways. It's basically what King David is saying. All right. And it continued on, verse 13. And as David and his men went by the way, Shimei went along on the hillside over against them, and cursed as he went, and threw stones at them, and cast dust. He was on David's ass. All right, but King David, being a man after the Most High's heart, had a level of humility, which was righteous. All right. And we ought to do the same thing. You got to have a level of humility, a righteous level of humility. Just correct your ways and keep going. All right, don't get caught up in, having, with your chin up and your chest out all the time. Can't nobody tell you nothing. All right, have that level of humility. Like the scriptures say, going back to that Proverbs 15:33, the fear of the Lord is the instruction of wisdom, and before honor is humility. You gotta have that level of humility if you really want to reach an honorable state. Because don't nobody start off at the top. As would be a lot of you Israelite men problem. You want to start at the top. You want respect you ain't earned. You know what I'm saying? How often do you go, if you got a job, how often do you go to your job on the first day and ask them for an advance? Like, you gotta earn the money, bro. And just like you gotta earn the honor. And before you earn that honor, it's gonna be times where you have to have a level of humility, because you're gonna be wrong in this flesh. All right. But I ain't gonna hold you. I just wanted to make that quick video. Hope it was edifying. That I'm gonna say shalom.